Everybody is all mad right now that they gave them away as a giveaway with people's purchases, and some of you guys even threw them away in the trash can. But I'm gonna go ahead and share some interesting things that I found out about these energy markers. So one of the things that people keep telling me is that it's Logan Paul. Logan Paul posted this photo about him and some manga covers or manga comics that he posted on his social media page. Now I'm looking at this post, and this was posted in April 21st of 2026. Now what I want to do is I want to correlate or use this date as a baseline to see if Logan Paul was the one that was responsible for all these huge hikes on all of these silver energy markers from 01 and 02. But here's Logan Paul in April 21st, 2026, saying he is the proud owner of the greatest mangas in the world, IMO in my opinion. And he put One Piece Chapter 1 9.0 or graded at 9.0 from Beckett, and then the second highest grade in existence, Pop 3. And then he put up first canon appearance of Monkey D. Luffy. One Piece is the #1 selling manga in the world at 600 million plus copies sold. And Dragon Ball Chapter 1 9.2 highest grade. So you guys can see the post here, or you guys can see the 9.2 Dragon Ball manga there. So, but I just want to show you guys this because I want you guys to remember this. I'm going to go ahead and place this text graphic or this text animation for April 21st. I want you guys to remember April 21st because a lot of people on Instagram and all over the Dragon Ball community is saying that it is Logan Paul's fault for a lot of these silver energy markers to be going up in price. But here it is, guys. Here is all of O2's manga cards. It's gonna start off with silver. So here is straight from Dragon Ball Super card game Fusion World, and this is their whole card list. So I went ahead and filter out for O2, and there are 42 cards, and that includes the gold ones. So half of that, so that should be 21 energy markers, I believe. So here's all the silver energy markers, but just let's take in the beauty of every single one of these energy markers. And I actually talked a little bit about the silver energy markers in one of my last videos. If you want to check out the video, the card is going to be somewhere around my screen. But if you guys take a look at this energy marker here, here's the what we call it, the butt crack Bulma. And then one of the things that I mentioned a lot about Akira Toriyama's art is that he does like to include a lot of vehicles or a lot of racing cars or vehicles in general in his art. And here is Goku and Bulma on a dinosaur. And then this is actually going to be one of those cards that is very sought after after this whole pump or whatever is going on. Remember, April 21st. Everybody keeps saying that that's his fault. But yeah, so this is going to be energy marker E73. I actually have that one, so don't mean to brag, but I do have it. But here's another energy marker, another vehicle. You got Oolong, Goku. You got Master Roshi there, Yamcha, Krillin, and Goku there on that van. I think this one's really cool. I actually have this card as well. So you got another one right here. Another vehicle, Goku, Gohan, and Krillin. You got Goku and Frieza. You got energy marker E78 over here. But yeah, as you guys can see, a lot of beautiful art. Here's Goodbye Goku, and this is the one that people are going nuts for. So here is Thank You Goodbye Goku, and then you can see in the back, you can see Boo. I almost forgot his name, but you can see Boo back there on the UFO. And yeah, I really think that out of all these, for me, because I'm a Vegeta fan, and by the way, if you guys are watching this and you guys are a Vegeta fan, there's actually a manga cover here that has the Majin Vegeta series or volume or episodes in the comic. So this one right here, if you guys didn't know, will be the manga cover for all of the Majin series. When Vegeta goes Majin Vegeta and Final Explosion, this will be the comic that you guys want. So this is not technically a first edition. I am actually working my way up to one of them, But this will be the cover for volume 39. And this is where Majin Vegeta actually is, Final Explosion. So if you guys didn't know, here is Majin Vegeta. And there's the Final Explosion there. So yeah, so this is going to be the manga for Majin Vegeta. So if you guys are a Majin Vegeta fan, you guys must have that energy marker there. Energy marker E-87. So, but anyways, that was just a side note for all you Vegeta fans out there. But the thank you goodbye is going to be the chase for this set. Now here's all the gold ones. Beautiful. I personally think that there are some gold cards that don't look good up against the art, because gold is yellow, right? So it kind of doesn't go with the card sometimes, but that's just me. For example, like look at this one right here. The yellow kind of drowns out Goku's orange shirt there, but if you guys look at the silver energy marker, it pops. So that's just me. It's just a personal preference for me. I'm a nerd like that, you know, when it comes to design and color psychology and all of that. So I just kind of feel like that really goes together. Now remember guys, a lot of you guys are thinking that it's Logan Paul's fault for posting that and all these energy markers going up. But there's also other factors I do want to talk about why I do think silver energy markers started going up. But I'm going to dive into that here in a second. But let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the cards here. All the rest of these are gold. You have Goodbye Goku there. And you have the gold energy marker. Remember, Majin Vegeta and this one right here. But yeah, so you guys are going to see the thank you goodbye. I do think that this one is going to be very underrated. It has all the characters on here except for Vegeta. Once again, my Vegeta is getting disrespected in Fusion World. It's not about me in this video. It's about showing you guys what's going on. Now that you guys have seen all these silver energy markers and the gold one for 02, and do you guys remember the date? April. Okay. You guys remember. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the next one. But this is some really interesting stuff, guys. But here we go. Here is 01 booster silver energy markers. Let's go. The top three are going to be the ones that are the chases. So the first one that really is up there out of all the cards, and including the gold ones, is going to be this cover right here. Goku on Shenron. So that will be one of the chases from Manga Booster 01. These top three are the first 3 volumes from Jump Comics, or the manga covers that Akira Toriyama designed for his first 3 comics here. So I just want to say that, and I just think that when you look at this art, it's beautiful. You can see how it's just kind of penciled in here, and you can see all these little imperfections. It's not solid black color of Goku's hair. It's just such a beautiful card, and a lot of people overlooked this when they were throwing these cards away, which I think is crazy. But I will share that when I open up a booster, I'm going to show a video here real quick of me opening up a booster box. But I did hit 2 energy markers. They were not the ones that I was really chasing. One of my buddies actually ended up buying them from me. But when I saw them, I realized that you can only hit these silver energy markers 2 times. So there's 2 energy markers per booster box. And a lot of people are saying, oh, you know, how come are these silver energy markers going up so much? It doesn't make sense. And you can get 2 of those in every booster. But what people don't understand is, and I'm going to get into numbers here a little bit, but the Manga Booster 01 right now is over $900 a booster box. So you have to pay or spend $900 now to just hopefully, out of all these 21 energy markers, hopefully you hit this Goku. And a lot of people are saying, oh, well, you know, you can easily get that card. I just want to watch you try. Go try find this card that easily. And a lot of people are mad right now because they threw them away, or a lot of resellers are like punching a wall right now because they're like, man, like I cannot believe I threw all those away, or I give them away as givvies. And yeah, back then it was about $5 a pop, maybe $10 a pop, but not a lot. So yeah, it's interesting seeing the climb on these silver energy markers. But here in 01, there's a lot of beautiful cards. There is a lot going on here, a lot of vehicles again. One of my favorite ones is Red Ribbon Army. I actually do have this one waiting for me in the mail. It should be here soon. I already have this marker, but I don't think I'm gonna chase this one. It's, for me personally, is not really up there, but I get why this is the OG one. So it's the first manga cover. It's not the first appearance of manga or Akira Toriyama's art, by the way. It's actually in one of Shonen Jump's weeklies, and it was an older magazine. But anyways, that's a story for another day. I still got to do some research on that. But from my understanding, this one was the first cover, volume 1 from Jump Comics, not the first appearance. So here is another energy marker on a vehicle. I think this one commands some presence. It commands authority. You got Goku on this Suzuki. This is a really nice card. I love the silver with the orange and the green pop. I don't know about the yellow again, and I get it. It's more valuable. The gold ones are a lot more valuable. But I want you guys to think about this, that when you guys get into Dragon Ball, I think one of the biggest mistakes that people are making is they go off of rarity. They're like, oh, what's the 2-star? What's the higher chase? What's the highest chase? But nobody really thinks about like the design. I actually had to take some design courses when I was going through videography, photography courses back in the day when I was going through college after the military. And one of the things that I found out, and I was looking at a lot of this manga art, is like, even look at this one. So just think about this card being broken into this quadrant or these 3 sections. So there's these imaginary lines on these cards, and exactly where the card or the art is placed is where it leads the eye. This is why these cards, me personally, think this is why they're so special. And I think people overlooked it because they don't understand that this was all done purposefully, but it's what is called composition. And composition, using the rule of thirds, which is what was used here, is just beautifully done. And with the color combination, the pop, the lines, the horizon, everything about this is just amazing. That's why when I started seeing some of these silver energy markers, I was like, wow, this is different. Now I get it, a lot of these OG collectors are gonna say you can find some of these on visual art or visual adventure cards. There are older sets and vintage sets, but we're talking about Fusion World here. These are the newer cards. This is what people are looking for. But let's talk about another chase in this set from 01. Now, I talked about this in my other videos, and I'm gonna make sure that I say this on the record because I don't want people to get confused watching this video and thinking that they're gonna go and get this card and then they're gonna tell everybody it's a signature card, which is not a signature card. So this energy marker right here, E60 from Manga Booster 01, is the only art on one of the covers that Akira Toriyama added his signature on there. Now, I have talked to a few collectors that also get into the comic stuff. What they told me is that usually Akira Toriyama never really signed anything. It was very rare that he gave away his autograph or signed any items. So this is special, but it's not a signature that was added on the cards after or anything like that, or it wasn't later on added. This was already baked into the art, but he would sign some of the stuff and he would donate to charity. So that's why you guys see this signature on this thank you card or this cover. And this one is volume 30. In the last video, I made a mistake. I said 30th anniversary, but it's not 30th anniversary. It's volume 30 of the Jump comic books. So you will see this cover on the Jump comics. Now, to just give you guys an example of what that looks like, and no, this is not a first edition, so don't ask me about this book, but it's just a reprint. But this book right here is going to be volume 30. And you guys can see the 30 sign there. And Akira Toriyama did like to add numbers on like street signs. It kind of almost looks like a speed limit sign, 30, but it meant volume 30. And this is a Jump comic. And once again, this is a reprint, not the first edition. I do have the silver energy marker here. I recently acquired this card. I'm not sure if I'm going to chase the gold one, but we'll see. But this is what the card looks like. It's beautiful. It's such a great card. And what I like about this card a lot, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit more here on the camera or on my screen here. But what I like about it is that on the card, right next to Akira Toriyama's signature, you can see Vegeta kind of staring at his signature. And this is one of the very few things that I noticed. I don't know if that was done purposefully. I don't know if he's just, you know, because Vegeta's always annoyed. So he's kind of like always looking away. But just by chance, it kind of looks like he's staring at the signature. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. I'm actually going to do a little bit more research on this. But this is great. I mean, this is just a great, amazing card. I think the gold one would be nice, but once again, who knows? I haven't really seen it against the gold, but I do like this card a lot, and this card and that book is gonna be in my PC forever. Hopefully I can get the first edition, but here are all the gold ones. This is what the gold ones look like. So we're going to go ahead and go to the next page here, and you guys can see these other ones. Once again, there's a lot of vehicles. I actually do have that one in silver. Let's see, where's the other one? Oh yeah, there it is. So there's the gold one. So let's go ahead and get to the things that people are really looking for, is all these numbers. Now, I don't want to go too deep in all these numbers, but I want you guys to remember something that we were discussing about the whole market with Logan Paul saying that, remember the date, April 21st, that's when he dropped this post for the very first time about him acquiring and I guess pumping Dragon Ball and these manga covers or these comic books. Alright, so here's Goodbye Goku. Remember, April 21st. So I'm going to go ahead and go to this Goodbye Goku. And like I said, I'm going to talk about the silver energy markers. I'm going to talk a little bit about the gold, but this is not what the video is about. We're talking about how crazy it is that people threw away silver energy markers. Because if you threw away a gold energy marker, I don't know. I don't know if you're a real Dragon Ball fan. Alright, so here's some sales somewhere around January of 2026. You guys can see that this energy marker sold for $16.64. But remember, April 21st, let's go to that date. Let's go ahead and see where it starts breaking the 3-digit numbers. So let's go ahead and keep going. Okay, so in February 15th, there was a sale here, right here, for $100. But remember, it already started creeping up to $80, $90. It already started selling for about 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 times more than what it sold for initially. So Logan Paul here, I don't know. Let's keep climbing this ladder. Okay, we'll start seeing some more hundreds here in March 5th. So here's another 100. And then here's 110. But here's 120. And that 120 is on March 15th. Not April yet. Not April 21st. And then it kind of goes back down to 70, 80. Then 100 again on April 1st. And then once we get to April 20th. Or April 13, we're in the 3 digits again. And then April 21st, there's 2 sales for $200 a pop for this card or the Goodbye Goku. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm not sure about this. But on April 27th, we had this first sale here at almost $300 and then $250. And it was probably because whatever listing was available here. And then it hits 420 at the all-time high. And this is on April 30th. Now, right now, there's only a few listings here, but they already started posting them for 400 or 500 as the lowest listing. But you guys can see the climb here. Was it one of those things where it had all these huge dips? Because as you guys can see this chart right here, you guys can see that it has kind of steadily, but also climbed pretty rapidly, but it hasn't really dropped. So what are we saying here? What's going on? What is you guys' thoughts about this card? Is it gonna crash? Is it gonna keep going up? Was it just this pump? Was it really whatever Logan Paul's fault that this stuff started hitting $195, $200 and really started doubling in price? I mean, I will say April 21st that post did drop and people bought 2 of these. So I don't know, that's what it says here, but we'll see. We'll keep diving in because there's gonna be other markers I want to show you guys. And remember, I'm not gonna go through every marker, but I'm gonna go through the ones that are the highest priced silver energy markers now and more sought after. Now I know you guys are probably thinking like, well, that's just TCG Player. What's going on eBay? Okay, let's go ahead and take a look on eBay. If you guys are watching this far enough, and as I wait for this page to start loading up, make sure you guys hit that like, make sure you guys subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so that way you guys get notified every time I drop a new video. I'm gonna be dropping videos, everything about Dragon Ball cards and just my journey on collecting cards for the past few years and what I know so far. Now, I'm not saying I'm an expert in all of this. There's still a lot of things that I'm learning, but I want to share with you whatever I'm learning along the way, and I want to share it with you guys. I appreciate you guys. But yeah, let's go ahead and keep moving forward. Let's go ahead and take a look at these eBay listings. All right, so these are some of the February sales. You guys can see that it kind of correlates with TCG Player last sold. It started hitting the 3-digit marks March, and it goes into March, and then let's go. Remember, April 21st. April 21st. That's what we're trying to look for. April 16, 147. April 25, which is after April 21st, 351. So these sales doubled at the 100 or 150 to 351. So after April 21st, a lot of these cards started going up, and you can see that Thank You Goodbye did go up after April 21st. So April 27, 375. Then we got a little fluke right here, 237. But that's from the UK. And that's April 30th here, 375, 400, 380, 400, 409 is the latest sale. And it just keeps climbing just a little bit and just a little bit. I do think that there's going to be other sales that are going to be below the 400s, but it looks like it's not giving, it's not moving back down. It hasn't really gone back down ever since it really started incrementing by 20, 30, 50, 80, 100. Do you guys remember Sleepy Goku, how it jumped all the way up to 1,000? I don't think that number raised how it was supposed to slowly raise to make sense of that card. But if you guys see this card, it's slowly but surely been moving ever since its launch. So I don't think it's gonna have, I personally think I don't think it's gonna have like a super hard crash. I do think it'll level out a little bit, but these cards, guys, good luck. Go pay for the 02 manga booster, probably about $600 to $700 a booster box now, maybe $500 for each booster, and good luck trying to find this card because you guys are not gonna find it again. They don't reprint these cards ever again, but they do get the art does get used, but it's in different types of sets or different types of cards. Like for example, I was talking about Visual Adventures in the past. All right, so I was able to find this energy marker gold, a black label though, a black label, and this is on 130 point. So it says on eBay that it sold for 25,000, but that's not true. This is what the seller accepted and he took home. Well, this is before the fees. $15,000, guys. $15,000 for a thank you goodbye black label energy marker from SB02 with Goku. And oh my goodness, guys, $15,000. This is, do you guys remember the date? After April 21st. This happened on April 30th. This is just one of the sales. I'm sure there's all kinds of other sales from Beckett, but I do want to show you guys another one. I thought this one was interesting to show you guys. This one is a tag 10. Now, for some of you guys that have been following me for a while, I love tag slabs. I love tag grading, and that's what I personally collect. I collect tag slabs, or I grade with tag, and the card looks just beautiful. But this is not even a pristine, guys. This is not even a pristine. This one graded at around 978 out of 1,000 points, so they have a 1,000 point score. I have to say, you hit pristine at 990. This one is a 978, so it's like a 10. It's a high 10, but it's kind of close to a pristine, but not totally there yet. I don't know what the imperfections are or what's wrong with this card, but this person did not hit a pristine. It's just a Genmin 10. Tag does have that score points, but look at what it's sold for. Remember, people said, oh, if I see a card in a tag slab, I'm only gonna pay a raw price. Look at that, $6,000, guys, for a tag 10 thank you goodbye gold energy marker. It's not even a black label, and it's in a tag slab. So what does this tell us? It tells us that these energy markers are very sought after, and they have value, and they're very valuable. And it doesn't even matter what slab they're in. People are gonna buy these energy markers no matter what. But I want to go ahead and move on to what everybody has been waiting for, which is the SB01 prices. Now I want to go ahead and move to the card that I was talking about, the Akira Toriyama. I don't want to talk about the Goku on the Dragon yet, because that one's going to be the last one that I talk about. Spoiler alert. But I will say that I want to go ahead and cover that signature one first. And I want to see where it was on TCG Player after what date? April 21st. So I want to see that real quick. Alright, so just like everything else, we're going to start a TCG Player, and then I'm going to show you the eBay listings, and let's see what this card sold for. So here it is, Energy Marker E60. This is the one, everybody's calling it the Akira Toriyama one. But remember, it's not a signature card again. It's not what it is. But let's go ahead and go to the beginning. So January 12th, $7.99, guys. This is when people were starting to throw away these cards, or they're throwing it into people's purchases as a freebie or as a thank you for purchasing from me. But little did they knew that this card was gonna start hitting the 3 digits when. Do you guys remember the date? April 21st. Okay, we have 65 here on April 2nd. Then we have our first 3-digit sale at $200 for a near mint hollow foil E60 energy marker on April 13th. Remember, this is before the 21st, guys. This is before the 21st, before the pump, or I don't know if it was, or is Logan Paul's fault. I don't know. I'm just looking at the facts here. I'm looking at the numbers. And on April 13, it broke the 3 digits. And it went to 125, then 125 again, then 149. This is still before the 21st, guys. And then on the 18th, another $100 one. And then once we get to after the 21st, on April 27th, we have a sale right here at $200. So it had already sold for $200 before the 21st, before Logan Paul. So what does this tell us? Maybe there was a jump here. Maybe someone just kind of bought it because they thought it was cool. We don't know. But all I can tell you guys is that unlike the other one, this one doesn't show exactly on the 21st. People were just like buying it like crazy. They're not like, oh my god, I gotta buy this card because I seen Logan Paul post about it on his Twitter feed, or what it's called now, X or whatever. That's not what it was. That's not the date. But on April 27th, you can see $200, and on the 30th, you can see $239. So this card on last sold TCG Player is $239. Now the lowest listing right here, 439, 449, 450. And I do believe, and look at, once again, let's look at the 1 year chart here on TCG. You guys can see that it goes from here and then it has a steady climb. But it's been climbing by 20, 30, 50, 60, 80, broke 100, 120, 140, 200, back to 120 or whatever, and then back to 200. So, I mean, I'm just showing you guys like what's happening here. Is it just a pump like overnight? Is it an overnight pump where, like, once again, it went from 500 or from $5 to $250 overnight? No. But let's move on to eBay. All right, let's see if it tells the same story. Okay, April 11th. So that was still about a month, something like that. So $75, right? That was probably like one of those lucky deals. And then we get to another listing here. Come on. Ooh, April 26th, $479. April 28th, $399. And then we get to the 22nd. Okay, so $150, $439, $450. So what I do believe happened with this card, based on just the sales here from eBay, it did started breaking that 300 somewhere around April time frame. But if we go back to TCG Player, the last sold, it does look like towards April time frame it was already selling at 200. There probably wasn't really any listings available, or the people started posting it for 500 or 400, and then people started seeing that they were available for 300 on eBay. But that's what we're looking at numbers here, and I believe that it does make sense here. I believe people who have really been knowing about the silver energy markers and they realize that Akira Toriyama's signature is on that art, I think people just kind of started buying it consistently versus the other one where it really doubled in price on that date. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about that dragon or Goku on the dragon energy marker E42, and this is the one that's up there. And I believe I have to look up the post, but I believe that there is someone who is selling a Pop 1 black label, and right now it's currently still being bidded on. So we don't know where that's gonna go. We have no idea. I gotta look up the post, but hopefully in this video I get to source it. I'm gonna place it on my screen, and maybe by the time that you guys also even watch this video, you guys already have an idea of what it's sold for. But it is on the Golden website auctions, and that's where they're auctioning the black label at. We don't know if that deal is gonna go through. I don't know what's going on with this, but let's look at TCG Player and eBay for now. But on TCG Player, as you guys can see, we're gonna go on the view the data here, and we're gonna go all the way as far as we can on all these sales for this energy marker on SB01. And this is one of those ones that are gonna be highly priced right before the other energy marker, which is the Goodbye Goku on SB02. But yeah, let's go ahead and look at this one. $18.51. Some of you guys threw it away, some of you guys gave it away. I don't know what you guys did with it, or maybe it's sitting in one of your boxes. You guys might want to go back and look for this card because it is going up, and I do believe it will continue to go up. But this is why, because the sales are consistent. There's not a huge jump here. 20, 30, 40, 50, 40, 50, 60, 60, 75, 94. Then we did have a little fluke right here, February 28th. I don't know what was going on that day. Someone bought it for $245.99. Pump? I don't know. 180, 159, 149, 135. So it broke the 3 digits in this date. But then it kind of goes back down to 85, 93, 92. Maybe people were like, sometimes sellers like to undercut each other. So they're like, oh, let me sell it for at least 90 bucks or 100. And then they just kind of post that new sale or that new listing. And they're all near mint hollow foil, by the way. They're not like bad copies. Well, I don't know. TCG Player, big kind of like, sometimes TCG Player are buying from there. It's a little iffy. You know, it's a flip of a coin. Sometimes I got in, cards. I don't know about you guys, but I've gotten cards in literally like just a piece of paper and inside the mail and or an envelope, and that's it. No top loader, no sleeve, nothing. It's just straight up raw, straight up commando cards, you know, in there. So but anyways, 95, 115. Remember, April 21st, what happened around April 21st? So April 19th and the 20th, we actually, let's look at these 5 sales right here. Let's look at these sales here. So these sales right here around this time frame is around that 21st, right? So we have 180, 190, 220. Then it was already rising on the 16th pretty evenly and pretty consistently up. It wasn't like a quick pump or something, or people were just trying to buy out things here. Then it went to 250 from 220. So not a crazy jump, just $30. And then it went up again by $40 or $48 from 250 to 98. And then it hit 300 on the 22nd. But then on the 24th, I think this is where people were really catching on. They were like, whoa, like what is going on? After the 21st, after that post, Logan Paul dropped on X. There it is. The 22nd, you guys can see 400, 499, 450, 450. And this one, I don't know, that one's a picture there. But look, last sold $565 on TCG Player, guys. Holy smokes. Man, I should have gotten one of these. I sell 2 of these, I can get a GDR. And I was lowest listing right now is $598, $599. Then you got 700, 700, 999. But yeah, that's hilarious. Oh my goodness. But does eBay say the same story? And let's see if it kind of correlates. So as you guys can see, February time frame, $60, $45, $74, $54, $40, $80, $54. So see the $10, $10, $10, $10 off, $80, $45, $50. That was a bid. March, okay, that's a whole new month, $200, right? So it kind of keeps going up. And as it goes in deep into March, $185, and then March 25, $150, March 27th, $169. But let's go ahead and go into April. April, $150. This is before the 21st, guys. $250 for the energy marker before the 21st. What is going on here? What happened? Why did we go from 80s all the way to 250? 169, 299. So we're breaking 300. I mean, sheesh. $60 delivery, and this is even Japanese. I just noticed that. Oh, I should have filtered for the Japanese, but I didn't. Sorry about that. But okay, 250 English. This one's April 21st. On that day, so it sold about 250. So I think this is where people didn't probably know that the announcement was made, but people were probably like buying it, and they probably got some good deals here. Then this is the day after, and then I think people started getting a whiff of it after the 21st. I'm just saying after the 21st here, you will see that the numbers are going up even more. 300, 420. I don't know what happened. No, this is October. See, even this is back in October, $19. But April 25. Oh, this is a whole set. 575, 500, 550, 500, 500. What is going on here? 500, $600. Now 2 bids. That kind of sounds a little fishy to me. 2 people just bidding. Maybe one person bid it at 500 and they thought, oh, nobody's gonna bid me over 500. And I don't know. Maybe they just went in at 619. I don't know. But let's disregard the 600 and let's just go at 500. Latest sold is 500, and it really does meet around the TCG price or TCG player data. So here's my thoughts about these energy markers. As you guys see on the data, you guys can see that it didn't just go from $5 or $10 to $500 overnight. This has been something that's been consistently climbing. Now, there is a little bit of a difference between right before the 21st and right after the 21st, after Logan Paul made that announcement of him, you know, buying the Dragon Ball comic or the Beckett, whatever, 9 point, whatever that was, the grade. But I will say this, if you guys have watched my last video about the SIR vibe, this is origination. This is where it came from. This is the art, right? So when people are gonna see Fusion World and newer cards doing the OG type of art, this is what people are gonna go for. This is the reality. People are not gonna take the time out to go to vintage, which I will say, I collect vintage cards myself, and I'm a vintage geek. I can tell you a lot about vintage. I'm still learning a lot because there's so much information out there. But for a lot of you guys that are just joining the industry and the Dragon Ball community, and even if you're coming from Pokemon or One Piece or whatever other TCG or collectible or even Funko Pops, you guys might be getting into this, and the first thing that you guys probably saw is this, because you guys know that this is what you guys maybe grew up to, right? You guys seen this stuff when you guys were growing up, and I think that's what's happening. It's the nostalgia. It's easy to store. It's easy to, you know, it's a space saving collectible. You can put it on your desk, you can put it up against your wall. I'm not trying to disrespect people that, you know, they collect these books here, because look, I mean, I have a couple here, and that's about all I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get it for this cover so I can actually pair it with my silver energy marker here, but that's as far as I'm gonna go here. I'm not trying to get the whole collection. Maybe when I have a little bit more space in my place, or I get a bigger place, maybe I'll do that. The only reason why I got this other book is because it does have Majin Vegeta in here. This is what I want to leave you guys with. Don't let people dictate how you should collect, and don't let hype or don't let people push you around on what you collect and try to demean you on what you collect. If you collect Dragon Ball TCG, Fusion World, do you, bro, do you, or gal. If you guys want to go collect these books, do you, right? Go do you. But don't be telling people out here, oh, you know, I rather have a first edition, or like, you know, you're not good enough because, you know, you don't have a first edition copy of this, or you're not good enough because, you know, you don't have a cell or the original drawing of Akira Toriyama, or Akira's Toriyama first shirt he drew his first manga with. It doesn't matter what you collect. Whatever it is that you collect, whether you put it in your kitchen or you put it on your desk by your computer, as long as it makes you feel good and you like that art, that's all that matters at the end of the day. But I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. Make sure you guys click on one of these videos around the screen, and I'll see you guys on the next video.